No.
Yes, of course.
And welcome back to Jeff Koinange live at the Intercontinental here, catching up with Member Parliament for Kamukunji, Mheshimiwa Yusuf Hassan. What a story! I tell you, tweets coming in, Willie.
Thick and fast.
I can't hear you.
Thick and fast.
Thick and fast, Willie says, and I'll just read a couple real quick, Mheshimiwa. Alex Alexander says, Yusuf Hassan, your story shows that God is all-powerful. Be blessed. Edmund Kishkiru says, ask Yusuf what drives him every day, because many would have given up after the ordeal and just bow out. And real quick, Wangeshi Kingori says, oh yes, I am among the voters who elected MP Yusuf Hassan. And Gracia says, miracles are still there for those who don't still believe. So, to answer Edmund's question, what drives you?
Well, let me say that when I got back to Nairobi from the UN, I felt that I needed to be here. I felt that I have worked in many countries, I have worked in many societies, but this is the place that needed me most. With my experience and education, I felt this is the place where I needed to make a difference. And so when I came to Kamukunji, from the first day I was elected to office, my task was to achieve the objectives of which I was elected, to leave a better place than I found. And every day when I go to Kamukunji, that is what keeps me going, so that we change our societies for a better.
And your family never told you at any point, listen man, listen, forget about these people, they don't care about you, they tried to kill you. Didn't they tell you that?
No, I think that there are people who are skeptical in my family about the goodness of people. And they say that, in fact, I shouldn't be putting myself at risk. But some of the things that I enjoyed about, although there were terrorist attacks in Kamukunji, I was never deterred. I walked the streets. I was always in the teeming streets of Isli, Kikomba, Bama, Mudurwa, talking to people, engaging people, getting complaints on the go, and even berated by an unhappy constituent member, and been educated on getting free lessons in political leadership.
Yeah.
But even though there were problems like that, I knew that the ordinary people of Kamukunji didn't mean any harm to me. They appreciated what I was doing, and at no time did I feel any fear that something was going to happen to me.
Okay, Mohammed from Kamukunji says, Kamukunji is the only constituency that's cosmopolitan in nature. We were talking about this in the break. Honorable Yusuf represents the resilience of its people. You're saying, I mean, Kamukunji is the place.
Absolutely. I think if you come to the CDB, the Central Business District of Nairobi, there is hardly any place, including this place where we are, where Kamukunjians are not driving the driving force. You would find them in every position. If you look at the leadership of Nairobi, the current governor comes from Kamukunji. A number of prominent and key people come from Kamukunji. Talent. Kamukunji has a lot of talent. From the days when I was a student, Majengo used to produce the best broadcasters, the best poets, the best comedians that we had in the country. Voice of Kenya was dominated by them. California has produced some of the best and the top musicians and artists we have in our country. In sports, we have them in football. You know, people like Mariga, Wanyama, they all are graduates of Kamukunji Secondary School before they went to make their mark elsewhere. And there are many others, many others. And look at our centers. Kikomba is the leading market in Eastern Central Africa in its business of mitumba and other places. It's a dynamic place, perhaps only surpassed by West African markets that you're familiar with.
That's right, in Nigeria.
Isli is a major economic hub that is making a major contribution to our economy and to our well-being as a city.
But Isli being hard hit these days, hard hit.
Indeed.
Hawalas shut down left, right, and center.
Indeed.
Tough. Are they coming to you and saying, hey, Mheshimiwa, we're suffering?
Yes, of course. We have serious security problems, and we have had security swoops and clamp down. Even now, as we speak, there are roadblocks on every section of Isli, on General Wairungi, on Juja Road, on Jogo Road. And this is only a 2 square kilometer neighborhood. Something, if there's something wrong, it can be done very quickly. But to be there every day to arrest people arbitrarily on the streets, to shut down some of the businesses without proper due process, taking them to court and investigating properly. All of this is impacting on ISLI, which is a major contributor to our economy. So I think we need to really change our approach to ISLI in terms of security, in terms of engagement, and to make sure that we benefit from the investment and the energy, entrepreneurial energy that is there for the betterment of our capital city and our country.
Do you all feel you're being targeted? And when I say you all, Muslims, do you all feel you're being targeted?
I think my constituents who are Muslims have constantly complained to me about the fact that they feel that they are being profiled, that they have been collectively punished for the wrongdoings of minorities. And I raised that in my national prayers speech, to say that it is important that we fight against this dangerous enemy, but we must not be able to damage the relationship that we have with our community. We must be able to differentiate between the enemy that we need to fight and the general Muslim population in our country.
Yeah. Let's go back to that speech. I'm glad you brought it up. And those of you who haven't watched the speech, please go to Mheshimiwa's Facebook page. The entire 7-minute speech is there, the video, and extremely inspiring. What motivated you to write those words, to say what you said?
Well, I felt that we are at a critical junction in our history. And it was a time that we did self-examination, some reflection on the past. And where do we need to go from here as a country? Because if we are going to be torn apart on religious grounds, on ethnic grounds, by a small section of our population that wants to destroy what we have, then we're going to have a divided and a broken country. So I wanted to send a message to say that, yes, we have problems. Yes, we are facing some major security challenges, but we must approach it in a way that we understand, we comprehend, and we gain the confidence of our population. Because I don't believe that there is a religious problem in Kenya. There isn't a Christian-Muslim problem. There are no problems between Muslims and Christians. There are no problems between the various ethnic people that we have in our country. What we have is a small section of our population that has been misled, that has gone to the other side to fight a war that they're not going to win on the Kenyan population. And what we need to do is to contain that particular small section of that population, to bring our people together so that we work for the greater good of our country and for our population.
Yeah, for the most part, what do you tell your people? What do you tell the Muslims in your community when this talk comes up, when the isolation, I mean, they're being singled out, if you will, as you are the enemy? What do you tell your people?
But I also want to challenge the Muslim population. I want to challenge them to say that there is a fear among other Kenyans that elements who are doing this destruction, elements who are attacking, are claiming our title, our name. We need to liberate our name from these evil people. We need to reclaim that space. We need to isolate that particular population and stand with other Kenyans. But at the same time, there is no justification whatsoever by a small section of the security forces or misguided bureaucrats to think that, in fact, the problem is Muslims are a problem and that all Muslims must be seen as suspect. That is a terrible mistake. That is not the intention, I think, of the president of this country and the government of Kenya. Our intention is to fight that common enemy together so that we can then regain our peace, security, and stability, and work to fight the common enemies of poverty, ignorance, and diseases.
On a serious basis, Mheshimiwa, is the damage repairable? The damage that's been done right now, and everything from hawalas, the business of hawalas, to relationships, is that damage repairable?
Of course it is. Of course it is. I think we need to reach out to those disaffected members of the Muslim community. They need to be reassured that, in fact, they are respected citizens of this country. They're equal to everybody, as is guaranteed in our constitution. And our security forces and our government organs must work to make sure that no community feel left out, and that we would all go through together as a community, not not isolate a particular section of our community because of what we have.
Sure. Did you think you'd get the reaction and the response you got from your speech? Did you think so? 125,000 on Facebook already?
No, I didn't have any expectations about my speech. I just felt that as a Kenyan, as an African, as a Muslim, I wanted to express what I felt about the current situation and the challenges that we face, and to call for harmony, to call for love and compassion. And I am overwhelmed by the reaction, because I'm stopped every day in the streets, everywhere, fellow parliamentarians, ordinary people, my constituents, everybody coming to me and saying, thank you for giving us that message that you give us of hope, coexistent harmony and reconciliation.
Yeah, that's incredible. What's next? Going to keep speaking like this? Are you going to keep hammering home the message?
Yes, in fact, in the last few days that I've been very busy in Kamukunji. Kamukunji, as you said, is a cosmopolitan area, but there's a very significant Muslim population. It has got probably the largest Muslim population in Nairobi. So I've been out meeting religious leaders, the youth, going to schools to preach this message of the fact that we need to shun radicalization. We need to shun extreme violence in all its forms, and to be able to work together as a community.
Tweets coming in thick and fast. Bonnie says, great man, great mind, man of the people. Mungu akubariki, Yusuf Hassan.
Asante sana.
Keegan says, this is a great man and a sober man. Fantastic job.
Thank you.
The reactions have been incredible. I mean, people just love you, but I come back to the question the gentleman had asked earlier on. It takes a lot to get up in the morning in your condition and walk the streets of Kamukunji and convince the people, especially the youth, many of whom don't have jobs, many of whom are going into radicalization, many of whom are being tempted and coerced into joining what you call the other side. It's a tough job.
Yes, it isn't easy. It is not easy to tell someone who is unemployed, who does not know where his next meal is coming from, who feels rejected by his community, who's dropped out of school, that there's a brighter tomorrow. But we cannot go on that dark path. I had said that, in fact, even when I was hit and I was in hospital, there were periods of despair where I had rage, I was enraged, I was angry. I wanted to seek revenge against the perpetrators of the evil acts of violence that were visited on me and the many other people. But if you go down that path, that dark alley, there is no return.
There's no coming back.
There is no coming back. But if you want to change your life, if you want to seek, we're ready to help young people to develop new skills, to get training, to get job opportunities. One of the biggest problems that we face in our constitution is identification documents for young people. A lot of young people cannot get IDs. We want to change that and allow young people to get documentation, to be registered. We want people to get the training that they require. A lot of the young people in my constituency have criminal records. Some of them are petty criminal records that cannot be changed. We need to change that. And I'm in discussion with the government and the various ministries to make sure that these kids also get an opportunity in life.
Yeah. Do you still have problems of gang violence in Kamukunji? Like there's I think a gang called Superpower or something.
Yes.
There's another one. We did a show with Skika Sasa a while back, and we passed a place called, I think, Little Lagos or Little Nigeria or something.
On Mlango Kubwa, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Still have gang problems?
Yes, of course. I mean, with the problems of unemployment that we have, a lot of young people can be attracted to negative vices like gangs. And unfortunately, in the case of Kamukunji, we have new gangs coming up every day. In the old days, we used to have gangs in other parts of Kamukunji, but now we also have them in Isli, Somali gangs. And we're working on that as well, because Gangs can also develop into violent extremism. They can become radicalized as well. It is one path towards that. And these are some of the major challenges that we face in urban centers like Nairobi, that really the county government and the central government must pay much more attention to be able to arrest the situation and be able to sort of win the hearts and minds of those kids and offer them alternative opportunities where they can become more productive citizens in future. Otherwise, we're going to go the wrong direction.
Absolutely. Winning hearts and minds. I want to talk more about that after the break much more. The way forward. The way forward for the people of Kamukunji and also for this country. You know, every time it seems we're taking one step forward, two steps backwards. What's the way forward? Can you offer a solution? A man who's been literally around the planet. What a story. What a mweshimiwa. What a turnaround. This man, having seen the entire world, comes back home and faces his biggest challenge. But he's up to the task, no doubt, and walking tall. Kamukunji Member of Parliament Yusuf Hassan. Keep tweeting at MP Yusuf Hassan. At Koinange Jeff, the hashtag is simply Yusuf. Jeff Koinange takes another break. Keep tweeting. We'll be right back in a moment.